let me love you. Yeah! Party people all around the town. It's the ODB, kid. Once again coming through your area. And I'm gonna tell you one time. You gon' love this. I'm the one-man army Asan. I never been taken out. I keep MCs looking out. I drop signs like dogs be dropping babies. Enough to make a nigga go crazy. In the G building, taking all types of medicines. Cause you thought you were better than Asan. I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit. Son, I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit. Son, I keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit.
Now let's be honest here. There's an obvious common theme. Several in which we can blatantly see and point out. A man Shakespeare said that all the world is a stage. I believe he gave great reference for this belief.
Astronauts are really, really good at making pictures in space that look like you've never left the planet. In fact, it's almost hard-pressed to tell whether you're in space or not in this picture. You know, we've got some fancy backdrops, I guess.
Listen, I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Say what?
Destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
There's so many interesting points when it comes just to the beginning segment of this documentary. First of all, my man starts off with saying that NASA does a great job of concealing whether they're in space or in a studio, virtually. Now, he might not have said those words verbatim, but you get the gist. Long story short, you can't tell whether they're in a studio in Hollywood or if they're in space, allegedly. I've had arguments with my uncle, my stepdad, my brothers and sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, and other assimilated geniuses alike. And not one of them believed that space travel was a psyop. They all opted to believe that the government actually went to the moon. I brought up this theory, though. I said, how come every time we see footage of a nuclear explosion, now follow me closely, footage of a nuclear explosion, it appears that the rocket flies up and then hits something similar to some type of dome and then mushroom clouds down? We've seen this footage 1,000 times. Rocket goes up, boom, hits the ceiling, comes back down in mushroom cloud form. If you don't believe me, take a bucket and then take a water hose. Turn on the water hose with significant power. Take your thumb, put it over the hose like this. Hold the bucket up like this and spray in the bucket and watch what happens. Water will spray in a bucket and mushroom cloud back down. So, my theory is we've never been to what they call outer space. Or my theory is that whatever outer space is just more sky. There is no outer space. We can only see as far as the human eye will allow us to see. Now, however far that is, it seems or appears that that's pretty far. Because if the moon is as far away as they say it is, how come I can see it with my blank eyes? I don't need a camera. I don't need binoculars. I don't need anything. I can just see it. Now, either that big rock up there isn't as far away as we think it is, or it's a projection, or it's outside of this glass dome that we have that we're trapped into. What do I mean by glass dome? You know those snow things during Christmas time where they shake them up and there's snow, but it's inside of a goddamn dome and falls right back down to the ground like a mushroom cloud? Becca Lynn, am I making any sense here?
Yep.
Then the second thing he goes on to say is that they can no longer make the equipment. Becca Lynn, do you believe that they can no longer make this equipment?
No, they're still making it. They even say here in 2024, they're going to land the first woman on a next man on the lunar surface in 2024. No, they didn't destroy that stuff.
Or did they even have it in the first place is the real question.
Oh, yeah, I think they did.
Did they? So you do believe that they landed on the moon?
I don't know.
Well, if you believe that they had the equipment, that means that
you can build something. Doesn't mean you have to use it, or if they can get it to go up there, or
well, then how would you know that it worked?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm saying I don't know any of it.
Give me a gist.
I don't know if it did work. I know that they've had it on TV.
Ah.
I know that when they had it on TV, they had people there on site where the thing was taking off.
Yes, this is what Nixon said. President Nixon. He said, "Put anything on television." Quote unquote.
I said something in the comment in the middle of that too, but go ahead.
Yeah, he said put anything on television and the American people will believe it.
They had people outside there that were physically there seeing the takeoff.
Yeah, but that could have just been an airplane.
Doesn't mean they went to.
That could have been a plane. But they have different styles of planes.
But as far as once you get out of there, inside of the atmosphere here, where we can see from the human eye and going up, I don't know.
We can't see a plane once it gets high enough.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So you don't know if it was just a stand-up plane or was it a rocket? How do we know there was actual people inside? Did we see them get in there?
They saw people get in there. They recorded that. All this while this was happening, it was all on record. People were there.
I don't know. It sounds like a giant Hollywood production.
But I've never spoken to them.
Sounds like you just saw what Buzz Aldrin said.
I heard what he said.
And we haven't even got to that part. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't even got to question what Buzz was talking about yet. But we'll get to it. Long story short, let's proceed.
Well, this is the camera on the lander. The descending camera. This is the first picture of the moon taken by Chang'e 3. Well, it seems pretty close already. We can see the lunar surface very clearly.
He said we can see it clearly, but the video is so blurry.
Yeah. Yes, it is only a few kilometers above the lunar surface. And because there's no atmosphere, so it's very clear image. And it is daytime. And it's also daytime. The lighting is perfect for picture taking.
I mean, you can plainly see that this Chinese moon landing from the version of NASA in China, which seems to be assimilated. I mean, they all got the same chevron sort of patches on that show some sort of allegiance. But before we even go there. I mean, why is it that every time we see something in space, it's CGI? They never actually show us any real footage in outer space. They show us CGI simulations. They show us drawings and paintings. They don't. It's a mystery like slave ships. You just can't find one. And you know, you got these people sitting around clapping like some motherfuckers just really landed on the fucking moon. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Give me a break, man.
Going to Mars should be one of the next series of steps that humans do. The first step should be going back to the moon for a number of technical reasons and exploration reasons, and then after that, Mars, maybe high orbit in Venus atmosphere, maybe going to Europa. There's all kinds of targets to go to, places of interest in our solar system. The only limit to human future is in our own imagination.
Take a listen.
My question is, through your career and your writing and your acting, you've inspired so many people to enter the sciences. How do you balance science with science fiction?
They're both the same. The mystery of science fiction is what I'm talking about. Science and science fiction are essentially the same.
When I was talking with the gentleman from Belcom, and we were discussing the lie, everything he was telling me was different from what we were being told was the truth. And at one point I asked him, I said, man, you guys, you lied about a lot, didn't you? And instantly he said, no, we didn't lie about certain things. We lied about everything. I really don't think people realize how deep the lie goes.
Here.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
Now let's bring this shit back around for motherfucking service. You know, one of the most famous people on the planet in our day and time would be Buzz Aldrin. Simply for the fact that he was a part of Apollo 6. You know, first guys landed on the moon. A lot of people think that Buzz got, slighted by Neil Armstrong. And now he just goes around saying wacky shit about space, just to create nostalgia. But I think that Buzz Aldrin knows something that we don't know. In his old age, he just was tired of upholding a lie to an 8-year-old little girl. And he decided to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? And he said what he said. He said, and we didn't. Didn't what, Buzz? You didn't go to the moon?
But I think I know. Because we didn't. Because we didn't. Because we didn't.
Turn around, and again, while the clip drops, he turns around, and let's take a closer look here. Oh, he dropped it. Supposedly in outer space, give me a complete break. Another close up. And I wonder what the people that believe in space travel are going to say about this. Of course, there's going to be some that are going to be shocked and they're trying to rationalize what's taking place. Now, there's going to say, hey, wait a second. This is not supposed to happen. Again, let's take a look. What a complete joke. And again, he turns around. Now, let's take a look here. I'm going to put pause here for a second. This is a Dutch astronaut, and they call them astronauts for a reason, because they're not in space with the astronaut. Let's play this clip here as this guy fiddles and diddles with a screw, and it drops. Let's take a look.
Interessante systemen. Hier achter deze panelen
Now take a look. And you heard it drop. You heard that screw drop and he looks down. Okay, let's play that again. He's looking for, he's searching for it. There you go. You got two. And again, this is the main point. Like I stated, you have not only, of course, with NASA, I'm going to show this ridiculousness a little bit later. You have NASA, you have this goofy Italian astronaut, again with the European Space Agency, more like the European Studio Agency, with all this conducted in a studio. And again, this Dutch astronaut as well, with the screw dropping. Let's just watch it one last time. And there you go. So again, the relevance here is the so-called international space community, the explorers of space, supposedly, they're all doing the same thing. They're all faking space. Listen to the person conducting the interview. And the question he asked, of course, he's not asking this on his own. He's told to ask this. And again, it's complete mockery. Take a look and take a listen.
Like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
He said, "Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?" So they're putting it right in front of our face that they are not in space.
Are you really in space still? See the hair?
Yeah, see the hair. Again, let's get a close-up of the hair. And obviously, look at that smile first off. Just, she knows she has so many people fooled, and this is, again, duping the light where they just get off on fooling the public. And obviously, again, look at that hairspray, all brushed up, combed up, and just complete ridiculousness. Now let's get back to this interview. And another point I want to make, let's get right here.
Clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still? See the hair?
I don't know. We're going to have to do something for you.
Now watch this guy with the U.S. Marine Corps t-shirt and take a look at what he does. Again, all smoke and mirrors. And then he pulls on a wire right here.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Watch this.
This guy here is obviously on a harness. And again, smoke and mirrors is all they're doing. And watch these two in the back do their flip. And look at her hair. Doesn't change. Standing straight up and going upside down the same. Now it's key what he says here. Take a close listen to what he says here. Again, the mockery never ends.
I think Sandy's hair is pretty much a dead giveaway.
Yeah, like he said, Sandy's hair is pretty much a dead giveaway, meaning they're faking this, and they're not, they know there's so many people out there that just love the idea of outer space, and they're basically going to, again, rationalize and why this is not fake. But again, this is, for people that, have half a brain, they should be able to see exactly what's going on here. And if people don't question this, they're not going to question anything they're told. They're just basically mind controlled. Now let's take a look here at the logos. You see here with NASA, and of course you see which looks like almost like a serpent's tongue. The serpent's tongue is also a vector symbol, as you see here as well. Now let's take a look here at Russia with Roscosmos, and you see